Question says, to what degree is the rule of not sitting in the gathering of sin applied? For instance, if I'm visiting some relatives and they sit me in the living room where a movie is playing, and I recognize this movie as sinful, so I don't watch it myself, but it is still playing. If my intention is to visit my relatives, have I still sinned by being there? First and foremost is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillahi amma ba'd. First and foremost is, you should enjoin the good and forbid the evil. You should give nasiha. Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali radiyallahu anhu narrated, the hadith is in the Sahih. He says, Bayatu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ala sami' wa ta'a wa nushi li kulli Muslim. He says, I gave the bay'ah, the pledge of allegiance, the oath of allegiance to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to do the following things: to obey, to listen and to obey, and to give nasiha, to give advice to each and every Muslim. To be honest, to be upfront and open, to be transparent with every Muslim. So give them the nasiha. Enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Whether it's pertaining to movies, music, hijab, beard, halal meat, riba, salah, anything that's from the deen, that it is anything that is a responsibility that they have towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to do it because it's wajib, because it's recommended, or to avoid it because it's haram and because it's disliked. So that's the first step, is giving them the nasiha. Obviously, sometimes you have to pick the right time, the right place, the appropriate situation. And there's some individuals whom the dhikr or the dhikrah won't benefit. Some people that won't listen, they won't take the advice. But if you give your advice, if you're transparent with them, you don't hold anything from them, then you fulfilled your responsibilities. You have fulfilled your responsibilities by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's what you should do. Once you've given them the advice, they don't listen, it's proven that they don't respect you, they don't regard your practice of the deen, your level of knowledge, then that's it. It is not necessarily upon you to advise them and recommend them or recommend things to them each and every single time. However though, does that mean that you can sit there and enjoin in the munkar with them? Or does it necessarily mean that you're displeased with it? I come to visit my mother. I didn't come to watch this movie. I didn't come to listen to this music. I didn't come to laugh and to gamble and to drink. I came to visit my mother, or my father, or my uncle. So they're doing their thing, I'm doing mine. So obviously you should try to remove yourself from the actual majlis if possible. Remove yourself from the majlis. If you cannot remove yourself from the majlis, or it's widespread evil, do your duty, visit your parents, do the silatul rahim, keep the ties of kin and kith, and that's it, leave. You don't have to stick around, you don't have to remain in the company of those sinful, evil people, or those ignorant, foolish Muslims, whatever they may be, because there's different levels of those who make sin. Some Muslims make sin and they're ignorant. Some Muslims make sin and they're just wicked, unfortunately. They're oppressive to themselves. So therefore, actions are based off of intentions. That's number one. Secondly, you give the advice. You enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Even if they make fun of you, they don't listen to you, they mock you, you do your responsibility. And you do not allow death to come to you in a state of you not saying anything. Obviously, there are more details, but we're not going to mention those details to you right now because these details pertain to the level of knowledge. Someone who has ilm, talib al-ilm, who has hikmah and knowledge, and he can actually speak, he may have more room to remain silent. Or he may have a greater responsibility to speak out against it. There's detail. There must be what? There must be details. So give them nasiha. If it's accepted or not. Once they accept it, alhamdulillah. If they don't, remove yourself from the gathering of munkar. But it doesn't mean that you cut your family ties. It doesn't mean that every time you see them, you have to give them a long speech. It doesn't mean that you cause them to have a bad taste for knowledge and for the deen and then look at you as some extreme saint, as someone who's a watcher and a protector over them. It doesn't mean that. So there is a balance. There's moderation. What's important is that you free your scale with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the responsibility, and Allah, the Sublime, the Exalted, He surely knows best. Hopefully that's clear.